Hello, you're playing The Waiting Game, North Korea's most popular gaming recommendation show, before it went behind that Iron Curtain paywall. I'm sorry, friends, but do not weep for me. It's your loss, not mine. Today we're alone on a ship, drifting through space, looking at Alien Isolation. This survival horror title isn't due out until late 2014, so plenty of time to sink your angry tongue mouth into something intriguingly similar. For example, Alien Isolation is being produced by the nice folks at Sega. Sega also made Sonic the Hedgehog.
We're not doing Sonic.
But Sonic is blue, which is the same color as Isaac Clarke's health bar in Dead Space, which is our first recommendation.
Oh my god.
Faster the better. I can hear something crawling around out there.
It's the classic tale of boy meets alien, alien eats boy. Isaac Clarke is a humble engineer sent aboard a mining vessel that's gone dark. The crew is missing, but the ship is crawling with monstrous creatures called necromorphs. All Isaac has is an assortment of engineering tools to defend himself with, which conveniently decapitate all things biology. While Isaac is no sap, he's also no muscle-clad ultra soldier. Your health is limited and your ammunition scarce, making the prospect of coming up against a necromorph all the more terrifying. Alien Isolation features just one alien in the entire game, and while you will be facing off against non-alien adversaries, the knowledge that it's always hunting you makes the fear just that little bit more raw. So, for the feeling of crippling loneliness, vulnerability, and your inevitable death aboard a desolate ship, go on a saga cruise.
Aww.
And play Dead Space, Jesus!
Just right for finding your own quiet space.
Now, if you were trapped on an island full of dinosaurs, there's only one person you'd want by your side, right?
Keep low and follow me.
Well, did you know you can have him in space too?
She's come back.
While it's not strictly about an alien species, Alan Grant and Morpheus
Different film, Seb.
still managed to find a load of horrors in the deep vacuum of our galaxy. Event Horizon tells the story of a group of astroscience chums who've traveled to the edge of the solar system to find a lost ship with an experimental gravity drive. The Event Horizon has the unique ability to create wormholes and jump from point to point. After all, that's one big pile of space.
That's not even Sam Neill's line.
I know.
That is one big pile of shit.
But when the ship fails to appear at the other end, you and the crew are left wondering where it could have possibly traveled to before mysteriously appearing again. And of course it means that something awful has to happen to the folks on board. After all, space will find a way.
God help us.
Now, it may seem like an obvious choice, but the film Alien is exactly what you need to have under your belt before playing Isolation. And I do mean the first one. The 1979 Ridley Scott Alien is a true horror compared to the action romp of James Cameron's Aliens. The film also introduces you to Ellen Ripley, whose daughter Amanda you'll be playing in Isolation when Ellen goes missing. As a psychological horror, Ridley Scott also took influences from such classics as 2001: Space Odyssey, Star Wars: A New Hope, and even the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Which, by the way, we recommended a few episodes back with The Evil Within, if gore and horror is your bag as well as space and aliens. Go watch it after. Isolation perfectly recreates the knife-edge terror of sharing your living quarters with a big nasty. And you will end up feeling a real kinship for the ill-fated crew of the Nostromo, and even the original cast, who often wouldn't be warned of certain shock devices used in scenes. It's great to spot some fine attention to detail in the gameplay previews of Isolation, be it the inclusion of particular props or the adoption of sounds from the film. They really do tie together nicely. If you're going to appreciate the design of Isolation, it's only polite to acknowledge the master designer of the Alien itself, Kurt Geiger. Listen, I was going to make a Kurt Geiger, H.R. Geiger joke, and then I found this. So that's terrifying. Hans Rudolf Geiger is the man you can thank for coming up with the iconic Alien design. He's a Swiss surrealist whose team won the Academy Award for Visual Effects for their design on the original Alien film. The book Geiger's Alien tells the whole story of its conception and the months of work that went into making the film look quite so terrifying. And if you're not satisfied by all the previous interstellar and interdimensional travel, How about warping back to the 90s and visiting Geiger's website? You could buy a chair whilst you're at it. Also, he designed that ridiculous mic stand for Korn. Well, this last suggestion's a little left field, but why not check out Outkast, the Atlanta, Georgia hip-hop duo responsible for such classic hits as Miss Jackson
Outlast.
and Hey Ya? Outlast! Outlast! It's a much better suited recommendation because Alien Isolation is set in space, not Stankonia, which is a made-up place. And a good shout if you like to crap your pants whilst gaming. Like a typical Saturday night for myself, you're armed with just a video camera, a penchant for darkness, and an insatiable sense of curiosity. Outlast drops you into an asylum where you must navigate your surroundings without having any real form of combat to fall back on. You'll instead have to use lockers, beds, and anything else you can find to effectively hide yourself while enemies are nearby. Now, Alien Isolation uses the same mechanic, with your interstellar adversary using smell and sight to find you, while also learning your patterns of evading capture. Outlast is only about a month out of the box, so it also looks the business too. You can pick it up for PS4 and PC right now. Righto, a few more pointers before I let you get back to weeping. It's okay, my children. Don't rush out and buy Gearbox's Aliens Colonial Marines because it's not very good. Or why not play hide and seek? It's arguably the cheapest, and you can always make it more alien by giving the hunter a cup of sulfuric acid and a bat to find you with. For legal purposes, I am required to point out that was a joke. Don't throw acid on your friends. Don't forget to check out our waiting game for The Evil Within, which has a bunch of other awesome horror suggestions. Or Cam's reality check on why we just love to be scared to death. Isolation will be out at the end of the year, but hopefully these recommendations will keep your fear glands full until you can go up against history's most dangerous and cunning hunter, the majestic space raptor.
Aliens.
Aliens do move in herds.
What are you talking about?
Greg, I'm going to level with you. I've only ever seen Jurassic Park.